And welcome to our show, Geek Swag, where we talk about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. And this week, we have Alex.
It's a me!
And Ted.
It's me.
And Anna.
Hello.
And Joe.
Hello. Oh, well.
Yeah. Look at that.
Why you...
We burned through everybody.
Yeah.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, yeah. It's me. I'll go with that.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
I did
About
it
30 seconds.
in the Luigi style, if you were wondering. It was delayed because I'm the oldest of my siblings, and so I'm used to being Mario.
No. There you go.
Yeah, Luigi was always little brother mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then I guess we could just get into the random show stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Megaman is getting a TV show.
I
Is
noticed
Netflix doing it?
Maybe. There's a lot of... Still, it's being worked on.
I think Cartoon Network's the one producing it.
Oh, I
there you go.
could see that.
Is it a cartoon or a live action?
Cartoon.
Wasn't there already one?
There was. Yeah, they did a... I forgot who did the original one, 1994. It was just trash. It was a 90s like video game IP adapted to a cartoon, like Double Dragon or Battletoads or some crap like that.
Wait,
Like,
Double
you don't
Dragon
really
had
need
a
a synopsis
cartoon?
of it. It was the same thing as all the other ones.
Double Dragon had one. What was the other one you said?
Battletoads had one.
Battletoads had a cartoon?
Capcom.
There's Captain N, but that was a little bit earlier.
There was like 3 Mario Brother ones.
Well, I
There
know
was,
about those.
the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and
Yeah, I like the
World
live
of Super
action.
Mario 3 or something like that.
It's Super Mario World.
The live action where this like Ron Jeremy looking guy was like Mario. That was awesome.
Yeah, Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah. Oh, he
And
was
then
a
the guy
wrestler,
from
wasn't
Cheers.
he?
Yeah, he's a pro wrestler. That's the reason they got so many pro wrestlers to be on the show. Just because he was like, hey, you want to be on this weird show I'm on? They let me drink on set, and we get a good paycheck out of it.
Okay, so yes, it's supposed to go to
Actually, I
Cartoon
don't know
Network.
Captain Albano drank on set. That's allegedly.
In 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He drank on set.
Look at that. It's American, Japanese, and Canadian.
That's the best way to do it.
I know. That's how you should do any show.
So
There's a little weirdness to the show because, like, Mega Man fans, as always, flipped out and said it's the worst thing ever, even though we haven't seen any of it. And looking at it just superficially, like, it doesn't look as ridiculous as the 1994 Mega Man cartoon adaptation for the American market. Mega Man's been adapted to a cartoon like about a bajillion times, mostly in Japan. But like we got like the weird one, 1994, that I think lasted 2 seasons before they finally put it out as misery. This one's actually got a weird amount of muscle behind it. One of the Deadpool writers, Joe Kelly, who also worked on the Ben 10 series as a EP, is EPing this. So it actually may be an okay adaptation for an IP that nobody cares about for a failing company. But it's got like a tremendous amount of muscle behind it, considering the circumstances. It's really an anomaly on its own.
So that works.
Alex, are you going to get the season pass right before it comes out and just tough it through it?
You know, I don't know. I'm a Mega Man fan. Nothing's ever going to please me. They could do it pretty much perfectly, and I'm going to find something wrong with it. Like already, maybe this is just comes from expectations of like an IP that's ran for about 30 years. No, actually, it's run for 30 years because the first Mega Man game was 1987. But they also have a hard time like doing adaptations of it just because there have been so many. It's gone through so many turns over the years, and trying to like make a single cartoon series to capture that is really difficult. So they've got their work cut out for them. But I mean, at least they're trying something original.
Yeah, see if it'll break the curse.
it was a platformer. There is no plot. There was a platformer.
Ted, but you would be very wrong about that. No, actually, Mega Man has an insane amount of lore, which is part of the reason it's hard to please fans, because they know all the lore, but the lore is not very well documented. So the only way you could ever learn what happens to Mega Man is to pick the brain of an intolerable human being that has actually studied up all the Mega Man art books released over the past, 30 years, to actually have read all the author and studio notes from Capcom about what is happening in the game, and the game doesn't really have much of a great plot, and it doesn't have much. It really doesn't have much of a leg to stand on in terms of deep lore, but it exists, and if you ever step out of bounds on that, it's really bad. The best analogy I can think of in terms of like a wider, broader audience pop culture icon is probably Sonic the Hedgehog. Like the reputation of Sonic the Hedgehog fans is completely the same as Mega Man fans. They're that disgusting.
All right.
So, Alex.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog fans basically like furries?
Pretty much. I think Mega Man fans want to be a cell phone or something.
So if this opinion offended you, you can send us an
Or
email.
supported it.
Oh, yeah, or you're supportive of this opinion. You can email us at geeksarewired@gmail.com or give us a call at 1-801-896-4335.
I figured also, if they want to, they could ask Alex to elaborate on the Mega Man lore.
Yes, if you'd like more
Don't get me started.
information.
It's like Metal Gear Deep. It's ridiculous.
So if you want a whole podcast on Mega Man lore, email us.
Or call.
And we'll do it dollop style.
Ooh.
Send a bottle of whiskey to this PO box address. PO Box 431, Megalopolis, Japanistan, Nation of Capcom.
Alex, you have to give me a warning so I can strategically be sick that week.
Oh.
It could be fun.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be quite
An hour of
It'd be
Mega
fun.
Man lore.
I could just try to explain like the Mega Man universe while you guys try to sit through it. Like it's just kind of a tap out thing.
And Alex, and I'll just try and figure out ways to strangle you through the airwaves.
Oh, it could be our first drunk podcast.
Ooh.
Everybody's drunk except for Alex.
I'm drunk every podcast. What are you talking about?
That's a fair point.
Everyone's drunk on the podcast then.
So would that be called Drunk Cast?
Drunk cast.
I like it.
I just heard him opening a beer.
No, you didn't.
It was a soda pop.
It's definitely Rainier Cola.
Oh, yeah.
He just pounded it. Did you hear that?
Yeah, crunched it already. Good job, Alex.
Way to go.
Okay, other things they're bringing back is Galaxy Quest is going to turn into a TV show. And Paul Scheer is going to be making it
So who's Paul Scheer?
for Amazon. Paul Scheer.
Maybe you could say for the,
For the
the
listeners.
people at home.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, I see his face. I don't know who that is.
Well, he did. So, okay, he's a comedian. Let's see what I'm trying to look at. Actor, comedian.
If you're going to drop
Yeah, I
a
know.
name, you should at least tell us.
All right.
Look, he was in the league.
Well, that was his actor. He's also directed.
Drive Share, Party Over Here, Children's Hospital, Children's. Oh, that explains it.
There you go.
Yeah, no, won't be watching.
Okay, how about a writer?
As I say, I'm not a fan either, Bill. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't appreciate anything he's done.
Yeah, none of this is
Nothing?
good.
How about Funny or Die? He does a lot of stuff with Funny or Die.
Okay, but the thing is that those are really hit and miss, and I'll bet he wrote the ones that are miss.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's been on Veep and
Stuck, Best Friends, Veep. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing
No.
anything.
you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
You don't recognize him. All right.
All right, yeah. So officially,
I think
unimpressed.
he would do a fairly decent job at it, but I'm kind of more interested where they're gonna go. Is also Amazon apparently is just dropping episodes like Netflix style.
I
Instead
know
of,
they're cranking it out too with all their series
Yeah.
now.
Well, like The Tick just got released, and I was expecting like a every week.
Yeah.
No, they just dumped the season.
Did you watch it? I watched the first episode of that. That's pretty fun.
Found
Is
three
it animated or live action?
live
Live
action.
action.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
it is written and created by the guy who played it last time.
Yeah, that's fun. I
What's
like
that
it so
word?
far.
Yeah.
The guy with the super deep voice?
Yep.
The Lemony Snicket?
Mm-hmm. Let me
Yeah.
It's only
From
the
Netflix.
20-minute episodes. I watched it after Game of Thrones. It was fun.
Nice.
That's kind of
Definitely.
cool. He's still involved with it because he was the original voice of the Tick, wasn't he?
I think so.
He's I'm not sure. I think up
I
there.
think he was.
And I know he was the live action
Yeah.
too.
I can't remember if he's the voice of the original animated Tick.
There's only been like the one, really. I thought there was a couple.
I don't remember. I
only remember one animated series, but they did do another like a separate live action one, didn't they?
Yeah, he was the Tick in the live action one.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I don't know if he actually did the voice. Someone else may have done that one, but that's cool. That's cool. He's involved because Patrick Warburton in general is like he's fun.
It was somebody else who did the voice.
Townsend Coleman.
Yeah,
you might know him from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and
Michelangelo. Yeah.
Spoon!
Yep. He plays Commissioner. He voices Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, but he shows up in the new series as a different character. That's cool. Midnight.
I'll have to look up that episode.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I like the first episode.
That's like I think the first thing that Amazon's produced as like an original series I've actually wanted to watch, and actually that's not true. I wanted to watch The Man in High Castle, and then I watched it and hated it. But this may be the redemption for Amazon Prime for me.
So you can watch
Mr.
Robot.
Mr. Robot's USA.
On Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
No, he means Amazon Original.
Oh,
yeah, this is an Amazon Original.
That's fair.
So, the guy from Guardians, what a bunch of a-holes.
Oh, yeah.
He is the Tick.
Doesn't look familiar.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's funny.
Nice that he Guardians of the Galaxy.
I get it, but I don't remember who said that.
This
I'm
guy.
Sorry.
Here would be this guy.
Yeah. No, I got it. I feel like we've gone full circle on this.
You know that one guy?
Yeah, he's the roommate in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
That always gets mad at him.
Now I know who he is. Yeah. So, all these older cartoons and stuff are getting remade, so I'm just waiting for... dang it, I was all ready to say it. Now I forgot the freaking name. It was an old MTV Liquid Television one, and it was about a guy that, like, went back and forth between the real world and the caravan, like the savannah.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? And he like, his psychologist was in both places, and he had to save her, and oh my gosh, it was like the best thing ever. The Max.
Yes. Yeah, that was a comic book, yeah.
I want to see that remade. That's what I want to... That was...
No, actually...
I don't know, the birdie introspective insecure hero is kind of, I mean, I'm okay with that being an artifact of the 90s.
Yeah, they haven't done anything since... Yeah, well, show-wise. But I mean, with them trying to bring back Spawn and, some of these others from that time period of, fandom.
I just like the like mind-bending parts of it where he wasn't sure if like...
Which was real,
and was it both? Was it one of them? Is any of this real? Like, that's what I really liked. And like, he'd do these like, he'd be talking as a narrator, and then he's like, or was I just saying that out loud? Like, that's one of my favorite gags, is that I just say that out loud thing. So,
hey, if they can make a live action of Aeon Flux, why not the Max?
It doesn't even have to be live action. They could just do a new animated series. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Or just re-release the old one. That's good too. Either way, just so I get more Max.
That'd be cool if they did get down streaming. I could go for a repost of live action Max or the animated Max.
Well, the original is on Amazon, apparently.
It says
it is. Oh, cool.
$1.99 for standard definition.
That's right.
Per episode.
I got all excited when the Golden Girls were free on Amazon or on Hulu, but I mean that's a show that they just showed all the time on A&E because it basically had like bargain basement syndication pricing. So they basically just got like unrestrained access, just show it like pretty much all hours of the day on A&E and Lifetime. Mm-hmm. I basically grew up. The Golden Girls were what I did every time I stayed home from school instead of going to school.
And summer, don't forget.
I got excited when that was for free on streaming. So I mean, the least they could do is show me some stuff that I actually had to work for to stay up and watch on television as a free streaming thing. So yeah, definitely bring back Aeon Flux, the Max.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember.
Did you watch Duckman? Remember that one?
Yeah, bring Duckman back. Oh man, that's another good 90s cartoon.
I couldn't get into that one.
I kind of liked The Head, but I never finished watching it.
Oh, The Head was good.
Yeah. But the Max just was my standalone favorite. Like,
I like the Aeon Flux, the Critic, Spawn. Spawn was my
Yeah.
They're supposed to be coming out with a darker
Good old
version of it.
liquid television.
Exam was pretty dark. It was unsatisfying, though. It felt like they ended it prematurely. It didn't really have an ending.
Yeah, well, I don't think they really expected it to end as...
Yeah.
I think MASH was another one like that. Like you're talking about Golden Girls, where like MASH was just on all the time. Like anytime during the day, you could just watch MASH.
What if neither one of them was that great of a TV show, but just because we built so much nostalgia because it was syndicated absolutely everywhere, everyone assumed it was a great show? It's like Seinfeld or The Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm not into either of those. I was in The Simpsons for a bit, and then I definitely dropped back out.
The Simpsons is demonstrably kind of a bad show now, but I even kind of wonder if like Seinfeld wasn't even that great, because like go back and watch them, like, this is just a bad episode. But what if there are no good episodes of Seinfeld?
I think that's probably the case. Yeah,
I'll go with that.
I was
Some things
never
are
a
better
big
left
fan
in the
of
past.
Seinfeld.
It's marketed as a show about nothing, so they don't really have a leg to stand on.
So if like atoms are basically like you've got your nucleus and you've got like these electrons kind of floating around it, but there's just a bunch of space, and then when they combine, they just kind of share electron shells, so they're not even touching, so they're not really packed that tightly. Doesn't that mean that we're more nothing than something?
You're just full of emptiness.
What's the deal with quantum mechanics?
I know.
I'm just saying, stop calling me fat.
Yeah.
Is it here or is it there? Is it both at the same time? Am I right?
We'll never know.
Yeah, that's the reasons I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
That's basically every episode of Seinfeld. It's just like it's about airplane food and then that.
All right.
I did like how at the very end they pointed out how they're just basically terrible human beings.
Yeah.
That
was the best finale of any TV show ever.
Yeah,
like
they're just like
that was such a good way to wrap it up.
we try to justify why we're horrible people, but yeah, we're just horrible people.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's the bottom
That's why
line.
it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a better. We're horrible people, and this is up front.
They
Yeah.
embrace it.
Yeah.
And no laugh
What
track
if every
either.
episode of a show was the last episode of Seinfeld? It's always Sunny in Philadelphia.
but then the next episode has to one up it.
Yeah.
So that's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They constantly get worse.
You get your better Seinfeld with Curb Your Enthusiasm, though, because that's
That's
coming
true.
back.
Never got into it.
That's a way better
Never
Seinfeld.
liked it. It's just
Huh.
he just overreacts too much. Maybe because I never liked Seinfeld, I don't like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it is pretty much just the modern day
The guy's
Seinfeld,
just freaking out over nothing, and I'm like,
but no laugh
If
track
George
again
Costanza
too.
had his own show, that's what you get. Like if your favorite character in Seinfeld was Costanza, then definitely Curb Your Enthusiasm's a good show.
Yeah,
Costanza show.
it is. Yeah, because George Costanza was Larry David.
It'd be
That's
great
the
if there was a TV
representation.
show that everyone's George Costanza, like everybody in it.
Yeah,
He has to date himself and then complain about himself.
Is that like being John Malkovich, but being
Yeah, it's like the inverse. It's like everybody's John
Costanza.
Malkovich.
yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, how about we go to the more shows that they
Yeah, Netflix.
more Netflix. So who all has actually got to watch all the Defenders?
I didn't watch any of it because I haven't finished Iron Fist yet.
Yeah, like I said, I told you before. I tapped out. I watched 4 episodes. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
never gonna go back and watch Iron Fist. I'm out.
Yeah,
I bought Zelda Breath of the Wild, and so I haven't been watching any shows lately.
So your life is
But I did just kill 2 Guardians at once, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
2 Guardians with 1 blow.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome, Ted. You deserve it.
I imagined you standing when you were doing that too, so I got a standing ovation in my mind.
Woo!
I don't even know what that means. 'Cause I
Killing
don't
2
play
Guardians.
video games. Yeah.
You're just missing out on like half of what the world has to offer you.
No,
Just-
in my
just go to your
economics
cousin's
mind,
house.
video
Yeah.
games are the most obscene, depreciating thing you can buy in this world.
What?
It
No,
becomes-
definitely DVD
Yeah,
box
that
sets
becomes-
are.
No, you can still at least play them on a Blu-ray player because a video game is something that is worth $5 like 3 or 5 years from now and has a system that rapidly will quit working with controllers you can't replace, and then you just have a box of junk.
No, you're thinking of
That's definitely not true. Like, have you ever bought an old video game before? Video games have a price curve that goes right back up.
Yeah.
Video games
Not
are a
all of
horseshoe
them,
price
though.
curve.
You're
It's
right,
like-
not all of them. That's why
it's
you
like
invest in ones with lots of time.
Yeah,
So if you
just buy good games. That's the secret.
like,
Don't buy
I'm still
bad
playing
games.
Oblivion. Oblivion is like a 10-year-old game.
I have played Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past this year on my FX Twin. So I played the old cartridge and everything, and I played it this year.
No, but I mean, what happens when it breaks, though?
You get another one.
From where, though?
Wait,
Well, what happens when a DVD breaks? What happens when anything breaks?
No, I mean, if a DVD, like if a Blu-ray player dies, everything plays Blu-rays, and all Blu-ray players play DVDs.
If your logic was sound, there wouldn't be such a thing as blow-up dolls.
That's also a bad investment.
Wait. I got something that'll even destroy your Blu-ray thing. Steam.
Well, yeah, if you're a PC gamer, but
Or
I don't want to
We
spend
probably
like
should get
$3,000.
probably should get to like digital rights management, because that's just like that's a rabbit's hole we never get out of. But just know this, you're wrong. There's definitely a way that like you can play a game on a different console later on, because they make clone consoles. And if you don't like that, then I mean, if your media breaks, then you got the same problem with Blu-rays. Your Blu-rays are going to break too at some point.
Yeah, but I'll always be able.
Wait,
I just have to
no,
buy
no.
one device to play them.
Your Blu-rays. You're saying they just stick around forever?
Yeah, a PC.
How is your VHS collection?
My VHS collection.
Yeah, and
No.
there's literally consoles you can buy that will play like 8 different types of console cartridges. I'll have to look it up. It's thing that plays like all the Game Boy system cartridges, all the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, NES, Genesis, like everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I haven't watched a VHS since I was in elementary school, but I know that since starting high school, that was like PS1, and now we're up to PS4, and so they outdate themselves.
Are you talking about the
quickly.
Extremer multi-console?
Retron 5 by Hyperkin. It plays 10 games from 10 different systems. So yeah, you can definitely play old video games, and like they're going to last longer than CDs will. Like, so solid state cartridges will always last longer than optical media. Optical media is just like a gamma ray burst or anything like that will kill it. Living out in the sun will kill it. Promise you, Joe, you're wrong about this.
the only issue that really you have a problem with on cartridges is the ones that have save games saved into them.
Yeah, if it's got battery in it, you might run into trouble. But if they've got like rewritable flash memory in them, they're fine. You don't have to worry about it. Which includes like a lot of the later GBA games.
Yeah, so
And like
all-
everything after that.
So if you've got a copy of like Zelda, the original Zelda, or the original Final Fantasy, there's a chance that you won't be able to save your game. But I bet you could probably take that thing apart and replace the battery,
Yes, you can.
and you're fine again. Just as long as you
I
hold
wouldn't know
reset
how to
before
do
pushing
that.
Power.
No, I'm saying I don't have those old games.
You
I
just
have a
need
bunch of disc
screwdriver
games.
with the triangle.
You go to some place like Harbor Freight that sells you these tools for like 50 cents, and then you take it apart, you pull out the battery, pop in a new one, and put it all together.
You do need a screwdriver with a triangle. I think. I think it's a triangle screw.
Well, I've seen them
Unless
at
NES.
like places like Harbor Freight.
I'm just saying.
But there's
a
always
regular
Amazon.
Screwdriver won't work.
No, it's just, guys, it's okay. I'm just saying I'm starting to be done with video games. I feel like they
I thought
just
I was
drive me
done
nuts.
with consoles, and then Zelda. Zelda always brings me back, though.
Yeah, I
Actually,
just-
here's the thing. Hell may be freezing over. I decided I am not getting the next Xbox console.
But you have 3 of the current gen.
Only
know.
2.
I like them for
I
their
was going to have
streaming.
3.
Can I inject a relevant piece of news to this conversation?
Uh-huh.
Published today at 6:47 p.m. I'm guessing they're going off of East Coast time, maybe. Chris Kohler, on Kotaku writer and also just retro video game writer in general, wrote an article on Kotaku titled "Capcom is re-releasing Street Fighter II on an SNES cartridge." So, like there's the old media is still going to be supported basically forever. It's like video games like have like this, like they've got like the same amount of reverence, if not more so, than like old vinyl and stuff like that. So like video games are like, it's the same type of, it's like, even though it's like a kind of interactive experience, and like there's like a tremendous amount of evolution in the way you can display the experience on screen from like 20 years ago until today, more so than film. It's like people still care about it enough that they're gonna like find ways to preserve it and keep it around forever. So like in terms of like video games as a format being fundamentally flawed, no, it's just gonna keep going forever.
Well, they'll keep going. I'm just saying it's annoying that I'm glad with other medias are like, oh, do you want to watch this Warner Brothers movie? Well, you better buy the Warner Brothers Blu-ray player because it won't accept Sony movies on your Blu-ray player. And so I hate all the divisions. It's just so much money and investment. It's like, oh, if you want to play Zelda, what do you have? Sorry, you have to spend $200 for this console. And guess what? The new Gears of War is awesome. You got to buy this console. And have you played Last of Us 2? Do you like that you just now spent like $1,000 to play all 3 of these games?
That's always been the problem with video games, though.
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm over it.
But
I just have this horde.
Like, it's been the problem with video too. But HD DVD and Betamax is just that every one of those, one single technology became like the owner of that market. And that's even happened in video games too. Like the NES reigned supreme for like half of a decade. There wasn't anything that came close to touching it. The Genesis came along, but that's like 20% of the market, and the SNES came along, and like that owned the market too. So yeah, I mean, like video games are kind of the same deal. We're just in this like new and exciting era that there can be 3 different platforms that you can have the stuff on. Instead, there just being one that dominates the entire market and tells the industry where to go.
But it's been like that since the Xbox, the original Xbox. We've had Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. So that's not a new thing. It is a new thing because that happened within the last 10 years, bro. No, that's been more really than 10 years. What are you talking about?
No, it's been about 10 years.
Almost
Xbox came out
in
2005.
No, the Xbox came out in high school, Alex. We were playing Halo like 2002 or 3.
Okay, so 12 years instead.
It came out in 2001.
No, what?
It came out in 2001.
So 16 years, I apologize.
Yeah, 16 years, so it's almost 20 years.
It's almost 20 years if you add like 25% to that amount.
Because the video game market's only been like 30 years, so you can say over half the time you've had 3 players,
when
so that is significant.
The video game market started?
What about the VHS market? Like, that's been around for like 35 years. It's not that much newer.
No, but that's what I mean, though. When you had the VHSs, it was just, if you wanted to watch any movie on that thing, you bought one thing to play it. Yeah. And in DVDs, you bought one DVD player to play it.
There have always been like 2 things. Just one of them got beaten out of the market because one was like, oh, we can't have porn on this one, or we can have porn on this one.
But they weren't around. But Alex, come on.
They
like
in
the video stores, though, like VHS was the main one. It wasn't
porn. Like that was the reason VHS won that battle, and then DVD won the battle because no one else thought, because Laserdisc came out too early, and then between Blu-ray and HD DVD is because Sony said, "Oh, hey, you don't have to buy an accessory to play Blu-rays in our console." So video games, the reason you have a Blu-ray player.
But we had a bunch of Betamaxes when I was a kid, like. I know I'm way old compared to you, but like my parents got a Betamax. Like we didn't have a VHS, we had a Betamax for a long time. So I mean,
no, we never had Betamax.
It was it was better quality.
Yeah, it was better quality and marketing and probably porn. But yeah, like we had to buy a VCR at a certain point, and it wasn't cheap. But we skipped those darn top loaders, so.
All right.
We'll have to agree to disagree because this isn't going anywhere, and
Alex, I like that.
I'm not going to bunch on this.
Sensitive to it, Alex. It's okay. I'm just saying. That's why I like my books and movies, because a book, you say, you read this book, you buy a book, and that's all you need is to buy the book.
So U.S. won the VHS market. Japan and Europe were mostly Betamax up until the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, but who cares? Because we lived in the U.S.
But that means they weren't the only option.
Well, I'm not saying there wasn't any other options. I'm just saying it's been pretty smooth. Like, the main transition has been VHS, at least in my lifetime, VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. And even Blu-ray, I waited around because I don't like hop on technologies because it's stupid to just say, "Oh, day one, check out this." So I waited until it was going to be clear between who was going to win, and then I was like, "Oh, Blu-ray's obviously here to stay." And then I started getting into Blu-ray.
I don't know. I kind of wish I would have gotten HD DVD because those discs went on sale for like a penny.
Yeah,
I could have gotten some like great quality penny movies.
I know.
I'm just mad at Blu-ray for what they did to Steve Irwin.
Aw. All right.
Forget you guys. That was funny.
Yeah.
I guess it isn't too soon. That was like, what, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, or 3.
That was way more
No,
than
it was a long
like
time ago.
10.
Alex, your timelines are screwed up.
Now we're going to have to look it up.
Yeah, his daughter is old enough to like have his
Wow.
own show.
Yeah, that's been like 11 years ago.
11 years? Oh, jeez.
Alex, you'd be like, I remember playing Final Fantasy VII in 2010.
You won't be that far off, because like, I think I played that game later.
Wait, I remember I'm the one who's saying I played Oblivion, a 10-year-old game, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Alex. You still play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I still play Cisco on the reg.
Hey, soon you'll
Actually, I
be
played
able
Left 4 Dead 2 like last week, so...
Soon you'll be able to say you can play you played Street Fighter 2,
Yeah.
in 2017 or 18.
So that thing that irritated me about that is it came in red and glow in the dark green. That was like opaque or
Yeah, there was a
kinda
green
see-through.
glow in the dark.
Well, yeah, it was glow in the dark and it was see through. But I want the stupid, ugly brown Nintendo brown color. Or whatever.
Brown?
It's like
It's
a
like
tan.
Did it gray. Gray, bro.
Brown, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not
Ted,
good
you
at
have
naming
it at home.
colors.
It's gray.
Yeah, gray, brown, whatever.
Well, there's a reason they might do that. Like this could be like this could actually be a potential downfall of the retro gaming market. There's an issue with people cloning cartridges because like Earthbound and stuff like that is in super short supply. So like those games that have like a ton of copies that are available, they'll oftentimes but like there's like a huge demand for them too. There's a big cloning aftermarket for it where people just like take a molded cartridge, they'll put a label on it, and they'll just write to ROM chip whatever cartridge, whatever game's supposed to be in there, and then sell it for like, $30-$40, something like that, and they make out like $20 in parts. And for rare games, well, not rare games, but games that have like a high aftermarket value, I've started saturating the market, and it's kind of like a bad thing, quote unquote, to release games that look like their original counterparts if it's a clone, because like if it ever gets into like the retro gamer market and they find out like it happens to be like a clone or something, it basically just kills like the collector pricing for that game, or makes it perceived as like, oh, this is not a game you want to collect, because odds are you're going to be picking up like a counterfeit copy instead of like the original copy. So that may be like just Capcom like doing like a wink nudge to the retro collectors saying, hey, it's okay if you buy this copy because it comes in a color that we never release this in retail. So you can be assured that no one's ever going to think that this is like the original thing. Plus, where this is a promotional item, it may have a higher aftermarket value by being a different color. So if they want to just like preserve, like if they want to just keep the values mutually exclusive from each other, that's actually kind of a smart thing for a re-release.
And that's what I was going to say is like, I remember the Game Boy had cartridges that were in different colors, and even the NES. There was like these special edition versions of certain games.
Yeah, you might want to say like unlicensed for the NES. Because the NES had like, other than like The Legend of Zelda, the NES, like every cartridge is the same color because Nintendo wanted to make sure they could keep counterfeits off the market. And like the 10-gen cartridges made by Atari were in wacky colors, but that's because Atari literally was breaking a I forgot what exactly what it is, but they lost a court case against Nintendo about producing like chips that broke the lockout chip on NESs to release their own versions of Gauntlet, so they didn't have to license through Nintendo.
Oh,
there were several games like that were just off colors and weird.
Yes, 10-gen did that. There's like, I mean, they're counterfeit ones, but there's also like the Action 52. Wisdom Tree released a bunch of games.
Like a Bible Stories game that I played a lot.
Yeah, that Wisdom Tree published Bible Story. And Noah's Ark. That was for the SNES, but that one was I think that one was also like in a wacky cartridge, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, Maximum
Super Noah's Ark.
Yeah, and also like Maximum Carnage with
I remember that one came in red.
For Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also came red for the SNES. Like, I think it and oh wow, Super Noah's Ark 3D on the Super Nintendo looked wacky.
Oh, and then when the gray or color or Game Boy Color came out, they started
Game Boy
coming out.
Color got a bunch of wacky colors because they did this weird thing where like, hey, you can play this on your Super Game Boy and original Game Boy, but you can also put it in the color and get like a few extra colors out of it.
But there were some red ones. It looks like Doom and what's it, the other one?
Carnage. And
Carnage, Maximum Carnage. Yeah.
I think that's about it. I think there's also like a couple black ones in there too for the SNES. But yeah, the NES, if it's a licensed game, I think the only two that ever got a different color were
Zelda.
Yeah, it's two Legend of Zeldas.
All right.
Pretty sure.
I thought Zelda 2 was also gold?
Yeah, both are gold.
I remember Zelda was, but I didn't think Zelda 2 was. Huh.
And my consoles went from Atari 2600 to the Xbox.
Oh yeah, you skipped all this.
And then I was loyal.
Yeah, that's true too.
now
I skipped
I'm
to
a
the PlayStation,
PC.
so I only had the Genesis really, and the original Nintendo's cartridge consoles.
Man, I had an Atari when I was real young, before the NES came out. Then I had an NES, and then a Super NES, and then those were all bought by my parents, and so my parents kept them. But then I got...
So everyone came over to your house to play.
Well, I mean, all of my friends had them. I was actually one of the last people to get an NES, or a Super NES. But then I saved up money and bought a Genesis, and I was like one of two of my friends. I was one of two that actually had a Genesis. So, but I saved up money from like working at my helping my dad clean up roofing jobs and stuff like that. So it was pretty good.
Nice. Let's see.
The end.
The end. All right, fine. We'll move on to other games. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's look at other games. Let's go Sonic. We were talking about Sonic. We totally skipped past this, actually. Sonic Mania.
Hell
Alex,
yeah.
Is it really great?
It's really great. I've been waiting for a good Sonic game to come along for a while. This one's it. Like, it's so good. They basically, like, the main problem with Sonic is the game has a fundamental flaw where you want to go fast, but you run into stuff all the time. This game tries to make the map laid out in such a way that if you just want to run through really fast, like, you don't just run into walls all the time. And if you do, there's well telegraphed like traps ahead of you, so you can like actually avoid them. But they also add like a bunch of side paths so you can do exploration. So as you're running along, you'll see like, oh, there's an item up there. How do I get that? So you might stop and like try to go get it instead of just like run past it. Unless you want to just keep running and just get through the level as quick as you can. Like, it's basically like a Sonic game that like takes the mechanics to like the logical conclusion of how good the game could be if they really tried.
Well, I think the original Sonic allowed you to run through it, but you had to be careful. Like, and the springs that would like change the direction and stuff, they were all like engaging, so you weren't just doing the same thing, like going forward the whole level. But I mean, you had to jump over stuff and everything. I love the original Sonic. I played a lot. I actually beat it with one hand. I like held the controller on my leg and like because it's really only like all you need to do is jump and like the D-pad. So I one-handed that bad boy.
Yeah, I played 10 minutes after I ran to the same wall for the 5th time and realized that I either was going fast or not going at all. I went back to another game. Like, I'm not good at this game. I'll just accept that now.
Oh, I loved Sonic so much. Yeah.
Sonic is a legit tough game, and Sonic 2 is like even harder.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
it's tough too, but like it's I don't know. Like, it has like that kind of self-regulating difficulty on it, where if you don't want to like it presents you with challenges, but you have the option to kind of like get around them different ways. So like if something's just too frustrating, you can't get past it. They give you different means to get past an obstacle.
Like an online purchase?
No, like just in terms of like the level paths you can take. So like there's always like if there's like a path of least resistance, the player can always find it. Like a good example is there's a like I think like the second world you go to is it's kind of like the underwater world for Sonic 2. You can you can very easily get past like a couple of like these drowning traps by just having like tails fly you over the top of them. Or you can just get like a running start and jump over these different paths, but you'll miss like a bunch of items and cool stuff. So it rewards. I guess it has like the good thing about Mega Man, like the Mega Man series. It punishes the greedy, but if anyone just wants to play the game, they can still really enjoy it. And the boss battles are like real laid back too. Like the boss battles are super easy, at least as far as I've gotten. I haven't made it all the way to the end, but it's I'm about like I think 2 bosses or. Second, maybe third world deep, and it's still really fun.
So it looks like it has basically the same graphics as like
The old school one.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the graphics is when we look at the screenshots, it looks the same. The animations are completely different. Like every animation has way more frames, and they're like in terms of just quality of the animations, they've gotten so much better. Like
Right.
if you pull up just the intro screen on YouTube, you'll notice like, oh yeah, Sonic. That's 60 frames of it. That's basically 60 frames of animation of Sonic standing up, turning around, and then wiggling his finger at you. Which sounds like a dumb thing, but like every animation in the game is just super beautiful. Like they spent so much time doing the tweening for that everything looks just gorgeous. It looks almost like a King of Fighters game in terms of just like the fluidity of the animation. Or like Metal Slug, it reminds me a lot of like just that air of SNK when like, all right, let's just make really pretty games because we don't want to do 3D.
So this is on Steam.
Yeah, it's on Steam, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch.
So it's showing a bunch of the like animations cartoon style between. Is there a lot of cutscenes like that?
They did. There's like a promotional cutscene that, or not cutscene, but animation that that somebody put together. I forgot. I can't remember all the people associated with it. But there was like a really pretty animation that they did as like an advertisement for the game. I don't think that actually appears in game. The game, they try to make it look like it came out on a 16-bit console, but they paired it up with this really nice. I'll see if I can find a link to the animation, stick it in the show notes. But there's this really pretty animation that some folks put together to promote the game that is definitely worth a watch because the animation just on its own is just a great short film.
Okay. Actually, I might be seeing it on Steam as like a little 2D or a little black and white.
No, I'll see if I can pull it up and stick in the show and just stick in the notes.
Okay. We'll put that in.
Yeah, that is cool though.
Yeah.
No, you can't say that. You don't like video games.
No, I'll never play it, but it's cool that they're bringing back all those retro ones. That's the other beef too. I can't play any of those old games anymore.
Why not?
Third grade, because they're super freaking difficult.
Yeah, that's
I
what makes
can't
them
beat
fun.
like one level of any of those
Space
games.
Invaders.
And I used
So
to beat
worth
them all
it.
the time.
I was reading this article about this guy who had a kid and he brought the child up through like a natural progression. So like they got a year of each console until they hit the point where they got to the newer consoles. And their kid ended up preferring the older games like the roguelike or the harder games like the roguelike games like Binding of Isaacs and stuff like that. And their kid is actually one of the few people who's got.
It's kind of like a Binding of Isaac story that this kid has been like a guinea pig for.
But yeah, no, there's like some roguelike games that this kid has gotten like all the achievements on, and they're like the only person.
Wow.
And it's because they were like just like cultivated all the way through the game stuff. So I've been thinking I need to go buy an Atari because I've got one on the way.
That's right.
If you play Atari Adventure and then like figure out Ninja Gaiden was coming up next year, you'd probably be playing that for a couple generations.
I love Ninja Gaiden.
It's a good game. It is super hard. I've got a recommendation for maybe not for Joe, but anyone suffering like Joe's problem of like video games are too difficult. Go back and play Kirby. Kirby is just a ridiculously easy game, but it's still just engaging enough all the way through that it gives you that reward feedback loop of I completed a challenge, I get a prize. Complete a challenge, get a prize. I went back and started playing that the other day with Jamie because we tried playing Super Mario Brothers 2 or Doki Doki Panic, whatever nerdy one you prefer. And
It's the hardest Mario.
It's really tough. It is so difficult, but and we could basically make no progress on it. So we started playing Kirby's Adventure on the NES, and yeah, it's totally fun still. And it's like really forgiving. Like if you screw up, it's like, okay, well, you can like just fly out of that pit. You didn't like fall to your death, or you've got a ton of health. That one hit didn't kill you.
Well, and the thing with it too, though, like you had the different like it's really unique because you had the different like fighting styles of the different characters. So like, you know, Princess could float and Luigi jumped way too high, and Mario was like average and everything, and then you got Toad that could pick stuff up super fast. So like different levels just required you to play a different style. And I think that's part of why it was so freaking hard, because you couldn't just grab Mario and just run through the whole thing. I mean, you could, but some levels are just ridiculously hard if you couldn't float or something like that. So
they really had to think it out, like especially like later in the game. Like early on in the game, I basically just picked Toad every time just because he could run fast with items.
Yeah, well, and he picked stuff up so quick, so you could get all the coins to get the free guys.
So yeah, he was like a good one. Like I usually used him like just early on for the most part, and then just like later on in the game, yeah, you're right. I switched like Peach and Luigi.
Yeah, I used Peach a lot for any of the ice levels because.
That's smart because you could like get the most horizontal distance in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you'd end up sliding, and like, oh man, I don't want to slide right now. So you'd like just hover, and it was better because you could just stop by landing, and she'd stop. So.
Did you ever play Resident Evil 4?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say like the ice, those ice levels remind me of like the laser trap level from Resident Evil 4, where you're just like you basically just have to learn the right timing to push buttons so you don't die.
Oh yeah,
like,
so you leap through them.
Yeah, you basically just memorize it, so like you just push buttons at certain times. You can play like that level blindfolded by the time you get it, because it doesn't have much to do with like visual cues. It's all just timing on that level or levels.
That is a good game though.
I think there might have been a time where I could play Super Mario 1 blindfolded, because that's all that game was too. Like everything was always in the same spot, so you just run through and.
Super Mario Maker. Have you tried that one?
No, I haven't played that one.
Oh, that one's fun. Like if you like Super Mario World, you should definitely give Mario Maker a try, because like the like all the levels people made for Super Mario World. Well, not all the levels, but there have been a lot of really good levels that people have built for Super Mario World. With Super Mario World physics that are really fun.
Yeah, because you have the Wii U, so you could.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a Wii U, definitely pick up Super Mario World. That's one of those games you kind of have to own if you got a Wii U. It's like even if you only play it for like half an hour, you'll like be thinking every now and then of like just coming back to it. Like it's one of those games you'll come back to like several times, like over the course of years.
I got a bunch of Mario
games,
so I need to like go and play. We were playing some with. So I get frustrated when I play with Anna on any of the newer Mario games where you all play at the same time, because I like to go fast.
Yeah, and he likes to throw me. He just like picks me up and then just like runs with me or just like throws me into things, and I really don't like that either.
Yeah, we're both frustrated. But so because like I want to go fast and she's going slow, so I'll pick her up and I'll run with her, and then like when I'm about to die, I try to throw her onto the ground so that she survives, so I can like. But don't kill her, but sometimes it doesn't help.
So you can
just
respawn.
like throw her in a pit.
Yeah, I end up doing that a lot. And yeah, I can
You're
see
going
that.
with me.
Did you ever play X-Men Legends?
No.
Oh, that's like a problem. Like if you ever play X-Men Legends online, like you just like end up in a pit because like someone played the like, Juggernaut or Colossus, just throw you in pits over and over again. It's like in Smash Brothers when Donkey Kong grab you and just run off an edge. Like, it's not a good tactic, but it's hilarious and frustrating to the other person.
I can remember playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo at the arcade, and someone had figured out that if you just use Vega and there's like their tackle move, like almost always overrides everybody else's tackle move. And so they would just do that over and over and over again. But it turns out that the Dragon Fist counters that very well, so I put them in their place. They were mad.
Yeah.
Like the school bully just like got beat down by some kid who just knew like the special moves better.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I always liked Ryu or Ken because they had like more utility. I always thought like some of them were like, you know, you'd play like E Honda, you had to get in close. You play Zangief, you had to get in close. If you some of the other ones you had to keep them far away, but like Ken and Ryu, you could do their moves with a second's notice, where you couldn't with like Guile because you had to like hold it back, or Blanca you had to like tap fast or something, but you could just pull off their moves immediately. So I like those players better.
Every time I've ever watched people who are, this sounds weird, but like Major League players for Street Fighter, they tend to pick like Chun-Li or Ryu. Like they stick with kind of like or like Ken. Like they kind of stick with those like middle of the road characters, which kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
I guess it's true for a lot of fighting games. So like in Smash Brothers, always Fox. Like that's the character everyone associates with tournament play with Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm. I think just like the other moves are good. Their players are fun, but like it's impossible to pull off some of Zangief's moves reliably.
God, Zangief is so hard. It's like Mortal Kombat movesets, but with like a Street Fighter character. Right, it's so insane.
You got to get in close, and like his like 360 file driver thing, man, I could never pull that dang thing off.
But if you could pull it off
on the controller 8 times, you can kill one hit.
If you could pull it off, was it like the ultimate?
It didn't do a ton of damage. No, it wasn't even worth it.
That's no fun. Then.
In the later games, Zangief's moves like actually did a ton of damage. Like I forgot. I was gonna say Marvel vs. Capcom. I think 2. Like in terms of just sheer damage you could do to somebody, like Zangief's moveset did like just insane amounts of damage, but it was like impossible to pull off. Like I always had a really hard time with him, and also like Mare Hagar, who's basically Zangief's moveset MVC3. Like he did a ton of damage too, but it's always really hard to actually pull it off just because it took so long. Capcom likes doing that. They like putting in characters that are just insanely hard to use to the point that nobody can use them in any reliable fashion. But if like a really good player knows how to use them, they can humiliate really bad players. They're basically there just to make other people feel bad. Like Phoenix Wright, that's a good example. Phoenix Wright in MVC3 is exactly that.
What else? We're getting long, so we'll finish up with a few things that are actually happening this weekend. One of them was Splatoon 2 Splatfest.
Yeah, the Splatoon 2 is having their I think second Splatfest for this generation. And it's going to be invisibility versus flight. You get to pick which team you want to be on and fight for invisibility being the ultimate superpower or flight being the ultimate superpower. So get your weird paintball squirt guns ready. We're gonna say which one's best.
So what is that on? Is that just for
Nintendo Switch?
For Switch? Okay. So it's on the
Switch
Wii
exclusive.
On the Wii U at all?
Yeah, it's Switch exclusive.
Okay.
Splatoon 1 was on the Wii U, and Splatoon 2 is Switch.
I might have to go pick that up then.
It's actually a really fun shooter. Like it is every bit as much fun as the Wii U version, and it runs a little bit better.
Okay. So yeah, go check that out if you have a Switch. And they're showing up. They're not even hard to get anymore.
Oh, the Switches?
Yeah, I walked into GameStop when I was...
It's because Joe stopped trying to buy one.
That's right. It's that much of a demand.
As soon as you decide to...
finally dropped out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's all your fault.
You guys, I had no idea you guys were this sensitive about video games. All I said was just, me personally, I'm done with video games. I'm over
Joe,
it.
I had like a Silence of the Lambs style Buffalo Bill basement full of stuffed Marios.
That's what I thought. I was like, holy crap.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I grew up with everybody telling me that video games are useless. But if it wasn't for video games, I wouldn't have the job that I have right now. Like I'm a computer programmer because I loved video games.
Yeah.
And that's what drove my, because it was problem solving and drove me into computers. So, and I was always told all the time that video games were a waste of time and just terrible and everything like that. So yeah, I get a little defensive when you start to sound like my mom.
No, I'm saying financially, they're the poorest investment for me. It's not a waste of time. If someone gave them to me for free, I would play them.
Elder Scrolls.
Ted said, you're sounding like his mom.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Elder Scrolls games. You could get the special edition $200 version. I will still spend years, actually at this point, decade, playing this game. Tell me a movie that you could get that much worth.
No, I'm not talking about money, because I would say if you guys see my house, I have bigger collections than all of you guys of everything that I own, collectively. So I've spent more money on collecting things. That's all I'm saying, is that video games is the bottom of the barrel for me now.
See, I'm starting to feel like the physical things I'm starting to pull back on, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got too much stuff.
Yeah.
That's why Steam's great, because I don't have to have stuff associated with that. I can just download it.
Yeah.
And assuming that my ISP isn't a complete turd, which,
It depends.
spoiler alert, it is, I can get a game relatively quickly, and I don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah, and I'm going to stop buying you flowers because it's a bad investment.
Because they die.
It is
they
a bad
just die.
investment.
Are you just gonna buy me video games then?
No, those are bad investments too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then what would you buy me?
I don't know, action figures, I guess.
You can get Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
The
The Funko Pickle Rick.
Yes.
comic books.
It lasts forever.
Actually, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Depending upon what it is. Primarily if it's like something in the Batman series or
Oh,
like
no.
Harley Quinn or
Like
something.
free comic book day. That's when you get comic books.
There's plenty of those in that.
That would still be
only
kinda
twice
decent,
a year? Are you saying
but-
that? Only on Halloween and on Free Comic Book Day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gee.
I'm a romantic.
Well,
You're cheap.
Yeah.
frugal. That's the word.
I just bought you $100 pillow.
Yeah.
That was just the beginning. See, it's all downhill from there.
It's L-shaped.
It's gonna go up. Everything has to go up from that point.
You guys did make the fatal mistake, though. I did my professional development. I learned with my personality is that I can keep a cool head and pick apart other people's weaknesses. And so now I know your guys' Achilles' heels. If I want to just be mad, I can just make fun of video games.
If it took you this long to figure that out, you suck at your job.
No, I didn't know you guys were this hardcore about it
Alex's
because I
basement
never...
of Nintendo.
Because we overlapped with video games for a little bit. It's just been a recent thing.
So that's why I put Megaman, the TV show, in. Because I knew Alex would.
Yeah.
I know your Achilles
Yeah,
heel
but
is that your
you weren't
face
thinking
is-
I was going to say the Mega Man show would suck
What?
because you can't figure that out from a Mega Man fan. Only I would know the Mega Man fan is garbage.
Ah.
That's right.
No, I said your Achilles heel is that your face is softer than my fist.
I don't know about that.
Now it's nerd violence. Gee.
I know. See?
Okay, how about this?
Hmm?
The other thing going on this weekend. Force Friday.
Oh, Star Wars?
Star Wars. You get the Star Wars app. You go around to places. There's 200 realtor or different
I already
stores.
played Pokemon.
Oh no, you get to go, and instead of catching them, you scam them.
What?
In RL.
This isn't getting any better.
There's 15 characters you can elect,
And then
there's stuff they're still releasing more information.
and then do you play something?
Well, you can have videos of you hanging out with General Akbar
And then
videos of hanging out with General Akbar,
and then
and then videos hanging out with Finn.
I noticed, what was it? Rogue One went to Netflix really quick.
Yeah, because for the next 5 years, Netflix is getting them before any of the other.
Is Disney
Before
going to
HBO.
cut their deal?
Okay,
Or
so
what are they gonna do?
It's going to be 5 years before Disney ends up getting their own streaming service officially, and it's questionable whether they're going to officially lose that, because that was only supposed to be for 5 years.
Yeah, because what's that
And-
going to do to the Marvel shows?
Yeah, that's the question, because it is Netflix created,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like Spider-Man and Sony, where Netflix might be able to make this, but the other side is we're talking 5 years down the road. It might be time to move on from those two other shows.
No, but I mean, once it's done, though, that's what I wonder, if they'll just cut future productions or they'll be able to keep what they have. Because I don't know.
There's a lot of negotiation still going on with it. But they got 5 years.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
And then,
And then.
there's going to be a new Star Wars movie with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's not officially Ewan McGregor, but he's a very bad poker face. So it's probably going to be Ewan McGregor. So I'm going to work for my second autograph on that poster of 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think the last one's going to be the hardest one to get.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
You can do it.
I'm going to have to find him on
I have a Nissan Sentra. I'll just
drive it over my poster.
That's right.
You'll have tire marks.
I don't know. Maybe I'll catch him in like, Taken 25 or Wolf Punch 2.
Why is everybody still taking my stuff?
He's going to eventually run out of things for people to take.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'll have to show up to like some random movies like, this is for Taken 5. Why are you pulling this poster out? You're the last autograph, just please. Yeah. For listeners, we talked about prior, we have a Star Wars Episode 1 fight scene poster, and I was able to get Ray Park's autograph on it, so I got to work on everybody else's that's in it.
That's right. Get your Ewan McGregor.
Awesome.
Yep. It was, and it's like, I'm not going to sell it or anything. I'm just like, it's going to go up on the wall, and it's going to stay there, and it's going to be awesome. And
Well, yeah, who would buy it? It's episode 1.
it's the best part of Episode 1.
That
you like the
best
best
part.
things-
Sometimes the best things to get autographed are the most obscure things. Because there's a Top Gun NES cartridge that's like a Val Kilmer. I think we talked about this last time, about a Val Kilmer autograph on it. It's always fun just to like get like weird pieces of that person's like videography, discography, whatever, and get an autograph on that. Because usually if they just see if you go up to like, I don't know, if you like Bruce Willis have an autograph Die Hard and he didn't just like spit on you, he'd probably like just sign it and like just not even care about it. But if you took something really weird up there or something that it was underrated or very unpopular in the box office, they might get a conversation out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Jamie took up like literally a piece of Spider-Man cross stitch for Stan Lee to sign, and yeah, he actually kind of stopped for a second, like had to like digest what he was seeing to when it she.
So, what was it? Penn and Teller had that show, BS, and it was on Showtime, I
Yes.
think. Yeah, so I had them sign an HBO shirt. It's still in my closet. Maybe I should try and sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll wait till one of them
definitely take
dies.
something weird. It'll be way more fun.
All right, so probably should wrap things up. We'll go with famous last words. Alex.
Public service announcement: Nintendo's social network Miiverse is going to sunset November 8th. There's a way you can export your history. Just make sure you log in from a PC to your Miiverse account and ask for the download link. It will take weeks to get the link, but it's the only way to preserve your history.
I was going to say, after you guys jumped me, that with my lack of enthusiasm, I have a lot of classic games I was willing to share, but now screw all of you. I'm selling them on eBay.
I'll buy
I
them all.
really do, because I'm not
kidding.
kidding, Ted. I have a super insane collection. So this is not like, oh, I bought 3 video games as a teenager. I have a crap load of video games that sit in like 3 or 4 totes in my garage, and now I don't know what to do with them.
I don't know what to say after that, really. I guess Ted.
And then...
No and then.